Today is all about celebrating dads and looking back at the challenges and joys all of them faced during the pandemic.
Our Devin Skillion got a few of us Local 4 dads together to talk about how COVID-19 impacted each of us.
Fathers come in all kinds of varieties, and so it is with a cross-section of Channel 4 dads. We'll call us the Local 4 fathers. Jason and Evrod had visits from the stork during the pandemic. Bernie and Steve are both grandfathers, and I'm somewhere in between with my 4 grown children spread from Los Angeles to Baltimore. But we're all dads, and in an era of COVID, we had something else in common: the blessing of kids in the house. Steve had to work to make that happen.
So we rented a motorhome, Carol and I and Megan, and we drove 1,000 miles down to New Orleans and piled them in the motorhome, drove 1,000 miles back to Michigan, and they spent the summer with us. So, you know, because we wanted them to be safe and we wanted us to be safe, and nobody was going to fly, but we wanted our boys, so we went and got them.
No RV for Bernie, but a homecoming just the same when his son and daughter-in-law came home from New York with Bernie's first grandchild, 2-month-old Eloise.
When the baby Eloise came in, she couldn't even crawl. When she left, she walked out the door. So it was a pretty amazing time for us. And as Steve said, it's blessed. And I mean, you couldn't ask anything better to have your first grandchild spend that amount of time with you the first year.
Jason has been through the dad drill before with 2 older daughters, but now here comes daughter number 3. Well, let's just say a few years later.
I think the funniest thing is my older ones. I have one that's going to be 21 and another one who's 18. They love her and they can't get enough. So you have these built-in babysitters, which I think everybody here would agree is worth its weight in gold. And I remember when I had the oldest ones, and they said, you know, they get along better the more space you have between them. Well, my oldest are about 2.5 years apart, and they fought like crazy growing up. I think the secret is just making about 20 years apart, and they get along fantastic.
Not everybody's up to that, I know. That's great.
That's the tough part.
Hold on, bottle change real quick.
But it was Evrod who managed to try just about everything on the pandemic menu.
Yeah, well, I had the nasty virus for a total of 17 days, and then my wife had it, and then both my kids got it. So it was a very dark time for a good 2 weeks, just over 2 weeks here in the Cassimy Casa, but we made it through. We're thankful that we're all healthy now and continue to stay that way. And
oh, but there was more. Heartache when his wife Danielle suffered a miscarriage, but then full happy hearts with the arrival of their 3rd child.
Yeah, it was a very trying year, almost a year and a half now, but look, we got something really special out of it. So.
She's beautiful.
As we talked about being dads, we were mindful of the dads in our lives too. Glenn Cassimy, Tom Colthorp, Izzy Smilovitz, Joe Garagiola, and Colonel Bill Skillion. We were blessed then, and the conversation again and again came back to feeling very blessed now.
As a dad, the blessing of getting to have so much family around for a year was something I didn't foresee, but was a pretty wonderful thing.
Well, and you know, and that's so true. And honestly, my heart ached for the people who suffered so terribly. So I feel a little bit guilty that we had so many blessings during a time that was so hard for so many people.
If you've taken advantage of it, it's really a time to be able to strengthen a lot of those relationships within the core family.
And I would say that we really grew closer as a family, better than any vacation could ever really do.
I would say that the most rewarding part of all of this was watching my youngest son become a father.
Ah, yes. A reminder that the 5 of us are part of a long continuum that goes on and on. Happy Father's Day to you and yours.
You know, moms and dads can disagree on a lot of things, but I think we all agree on family is everything.
Absolutely. And you know what? We learned a lot of lessons this past year. That was so beautifully said, and it's so nice to see you with your grandsons.
It was fun with the rest of those guys, those dads.
So fun. Happy Father's Day to you, Steve.
Thank you so much.